Hello, welcome back to the Desk Corner. Welcome to a new video and happy 2022. So you guys, I cannot believe how quickly the year of 2021 went by and that we're now going into another new year. That's absolutely insane. I just wanted to wish you guys happy new year, and I thought I'd come on here for once and actually talk in my introduction. I haven't done that in a little while because I've been very lazy and I like to just get straight to the artwork, so I just go straight to the desk view. But today we're going to be going through my entire colored pencil collection, including colored pencils, pastel pencils, and even watercolor pencils. So this is going to take a while. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. This is Bob. I received him for Christmas this year, and he's going to be the judge. Check out his hair. I'm just gonna sit him right over here as we get started. I want to start with my very first colored pencil set, not including Crayola. It's kind of dusty right now because it's been sitting over there in a giveaway pile. These are my Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. My first ever set of colored pencils that I received probably in 2014, if I'm being honest. I need to grab my color swatch charts also. For the Prismas, I just had this one that's printed out. And can you believe that even with all of these pencils, I still don't technically have the full set? Look at all these white blank spaces for the colors I don't have. And you would think this is the whole set because I have so many colors already. So my Prismacolor Premier is my first ever colored pencil set. Kind of have an attachment to them even though I don't use them anymore just because I have other colored pencils that I like to use more now. What I love about Prismacolors are just how vibrant they are. So I just picked out a random one, Scarlet Lake. And they're just so soft and they're so vibrant and they lay down so well. But as I mentioned before, I fell in love with some of my other pencil sets. And that is why I have not been using my Prismacolors. So you guys, I would like to eventually do a giveaway for my Prismacolor set so that they go to a good home. I'm not really sure when I'd want to do this giveaway. I almost want to make it like a further down milestone giveaway just because I have such an attachment to these pencils, my first pencils. They're also a bit used, like obviously some of them are quite short. There's still enough of them that are long enough and not used enough that it seems worthwhile to do a giveaway for these pencils. I don't know, you guys. I'm going to think about it. I might put it for a further down milestone, like let's say 50,000 subscribers or something like that if I get there. Right now I'm at about like 5,500 or something like that. Now most of you probably already know about Prismacolor. We don't need to talk about them too much. They're a soft wax-based pencil and they're highly pigmented, and you can blend them and layer them quite easily. And they have a pretty good color range. I mean, look at all of these colors. I mean, if you look at the collection of blues, when would I even use this many blues? There's so many variations. And I know I just have the printed out swatch chart, so it's kind of difficult to see all the colors. But yeah, those are my Prismacolors, you guys. So I'm going to close them up so they stay nice and fresh, and then we'll figure out what to do with them. Next up, we've got my second set of colored pencils that I ever got. Also in this very nice like pencil case. And these are the Faber-Castell Polychromos, obviously, except these ones. These are not Polychromos on this side. For the most part, these are the Polychromos pencils, the 120 colors. I actually do have all 120 colors. They're swatched in a way that's hard to see them here, but there's just so many colors. I probably could have made like actual boxes, but I was just extremely lazy. And here's a swatch chart that I did somewhat recently. Faber-Castell Polychromos are oil-based pencils, and they have a nice firm core. If I just take out one random one like we did the Prismas, this is Permanent Green Olive. And I notice when I lay these down, the pencil is a lot firmer than something like a Prismacolor, and the feel is definitely different, but they are beautiful nonetheless. And they're actually my favorite set of colored pencils to date. So I absolutely love these. I use them all the time. I kind of want to make another updated swatch chart, but I'm just far too lazy. It would be nice to have one with actual boxes though. but this one took me long enough to make, so I don't know when I'm going to feel up to doing that. I really like the range of colors that you get with the Faber-Castell Polychromos, but I think that there could be some more skin-toned colors in the set. Now don't get me wrong, there are skin tones, there are some browns here and some lighter variations. However, compared to a set like the Prismacolors, these definitely don't have quite as much of a range of skin tone. However, they are still such lovely pencils, and as you can see, I've got my neutrals kind of just hanging out here. All these colors that I might use as skin tones just sort of hanging out. I've got them somewhat arranged. I arranged them not too long ago, but like, you know how it goes when you start working on a drawing and you pull like 30 of them out at once. You don't quite remember where they all go back. And of course I don't have the tins for these, you guys. I don't have the original tins that these came in. I should have kept them, but at the time I was looking to save space, so I didn't think about collecting tins, and now I'm disappointed in myself, but that's okay. I think they're nice and safe in here rather than the tin that they originally came in anyways. Those were the Polychromos, and they go all the way up to here. These are the grays. Lots of grays. And then I've got another set sitting in here. Oh, these are also Polychromos, the gold and copper and silver. We also have the Derwent Metallics. If you would like to see me use these because they're relatively new, I do have a video up on them. If I can remember to link all these videos down below. These are the Derwent Metallics. I will take one out to show you. This one is Antique Gold. I actually used them on black paper in my other video, and so that was a lot of fun. So there's our Derwent Metallic. Now I don't have all the Derwent Metallics. I could tell you which ones I do have. I ended up buying the traditional colors and then just a couple of the extra colors, but they actually have a ton, like metallic blue and purple and all sorts of things. So I have Antique Gold, and I've got Pewter, if that's how you pronounce it. I still never figured out how to pronounce that. Silver. I'm reading them upside down, by the way. Gold, another Antique Gold. I bought 2 by accident. Copper. This one is bronze. Pink Gold. I've also got graphite and rose gold. I really like the pink gold and the rose gold. Let's take those ones out so I could show you guys. Again, I do swatch these in another video. It's sometimes fun just to swatch on camera. So that one was pink gold. Wow, these look so different on white paper than they do on black paper. This is rose gold. I really recommend you guys go watch the other video because these look a whole lot better on black paper than they do on white paper, I'll tell you that. So we went over the Polychromos, we went over the Derwent Metallics. I also have this set of metallics that my friend got me for the absolute purpose of comparing them to the Derwent Metallics. Just some random metallics that she got on Amazon for cheap. She said, well, let's see if they fare better or worse or equal to the Derwent ones, which are more professional, and I have yet to actually try that out. I've tried the pencils, I just have not compared them. Mostly because I wanted to buy some more of the Derwent Metallics, like they have a metallic blue and pink and green that are more akin to these colors. Now flipping my pencil case this way, let's zoom in here, because there's some interesting stuff going on here. First of all, these are Polychromos. Okay, so I've also got some more mismatched pencils. I've got a giant Cretacolor Mega Umber and then also a giant Cretacolor Mega Black pencil. These are just huge. I'll show you guys how they look. This is the Umber. I was actually hoping for it to be a darker sepia, but it's not. It's kind of just, I guess I should have known because it's not named Dark Umber. It's just normal Umber. And I just was curious about these because they're giant, you know? So I bought a couple of them. They actually have a whole set, which maybe I'll get my hands on one day. So other than that, I also have 3 Derwent Lightfast pencils. Flush Pink, as well as Burnt Sienna, and this one is Van Dyke Brown. Here's that Van Dyke Brown. And you guys, the Derwent Lightfasts are another set I've got my eye on. I'm not in a particular buying freeze right now, but I'm also not buying a whole lot of new art supplies. So I think that I'm going to save some of these that I have on my wish list for a later time. I do have a lot of colored pencils already, but I've had my eye on these Derwent Lightfasts for quite a long time, and I've tried these ones out, love the consistency of them. We've also got some Holbein pencils, and I kind of want all my Holbeins to sit together. I recently got some new ones that we'll talk about. These, oh, you guys couldn't even see them. Indigo, moss green, soft white, black. Just the normal Holbein colored pencils. These have a strange feel to them, an interesting feel. They're very different. And I just bought these open stock on Blick. Next we've got a couple of Derwent Color Soft pencils, which I just wanted to try out for fun. This one is Blush Pink. These have a really soft feel to them, like maybe a little too soft. They're not sticking to the paper. I mean, they do stick to the paper, but you don't feel them sticking too much as you're coloring. They just sort of glide across the paper. So I am not sure if I'd want to buy a whole set of these just because I don't know how the light fastness rating is for these, but I do enjoy them. I just tried 2 colors so far, Blush Pink and Pale Brown. We also have the Derwent Pro colors, which I'm not too keen on. I have Nutmeg and Burnt Umber. I love how I'm just creating this like swatch chart that makes no sense. This is Nutmeg. These pencils are just too hard for me. They have this weird hard feel to them. Oh, and here we've got a couple of spare Luminance pencils, so we'll get to the Luminance set. Next, we have the Caran d'Ache Pablos, a very recent addition to my collection, actually a gift, a lovely gift. And these come in a bright red Caran d'Ache tin, not like the box Luminance comes in. However, when you open it up, each row of pencils, each tray is protected in its own little metal tin with sheets between it. So these are more well protected than, let's say, your average pencil tin. Let's take a look at these. If you guys want to see my unboxing video for this, I will link that down below. I mean, I just have so many videos talking about different pencils, but I do have an unboxing video I did fairly recently for these. These are very, very beautiful. Look at all those blues. It's kind of like the Prismacolor where they have so many blues. And here is my swatch chart. I actually did do the squares for this one. I kind of want to redo all my swatch charts to look like this so you could clearly see them. But do you guys know how long that's going to take me with my bad swatch chart skills? But it would be so satisfying. Let me know if you guys want me to do that on camera. I mean, it would have to be separate videos obviously, but I think that would be so much fun to just re-swatch all my pencil sets in this format and just make it look nice. Yeah, these are the Caran d'Ache Pablos. They don't feel similar to the Luminance. They are definitely, where'd my little book go? They're definitely a different feel. I'm grabbing one. This is light purple. They're a harder pencil. But let's take a look at these since we have them out. That's the first row. All of the beautiful blues, purples, lighter purples. We get into some skin tones and reds. And then the next row are neutrals. Really beautiful browns. I don't know if I particularly put these in the correct order. It's for some of these, like, there's a random green here. And then our last tray here. Gosh, where, is there one missing? Did I take one out? I don't know what that's about, but I might have taken one out. Here we have the turquoise into the greens, into the more earthy greens, a couple more browns, a missing color, and then we've got some metallics at the end here. And actually, this comes with 2 blacks, black and ivory black. Ivory black is up here, and black is down here. I think the strengths of these pencils are that the color range would be super well suited for like nature drawings. Look at all the greens and blues that you get, or for something like floral, like botanical artwork, you get this whole range of beautiful colors. At the same time, you do get neutrals and some skin tones as well throughout. So really you could use them for anything. But I think the strength lies in their bright color range that they have here. So these are really, really beautiful pencils. Totally did not expect to get these. It was a surprise, so I am still very grateful to own these and to be able to talk about them with you guys. Let's go ahead and put them back. Next, we have the Caran d'Ache Luminance, which might be the most exciting one or the favorite for some of you guys. I have the new release Portrait Assortment. plus the 4 extra, and then the original 76. And I have a swatch chart that is not the little boxes that are all even, so this one could also be redone. Luminance are another one of my favorite pencils. They are very unique in their color range and very natural in their color range as well. So let's take a look. Let's start with the originals. So these come in a really, really nice soft box. Like they have, well, the box itself is protective on the outside, but then each pencil has its own like foam slot, and then you lift them. These are really bougie. You lift them and then you reveal the next row or the next tray. But they don't actually come in those flimsy plastic trays at all, which is really nice. Here are my Luminance again. Why am I missing one? I don't know, you guys. I think that's where white is supposed to be. Let's see, is white just sitting there? I think that's what's supposed to go. There. It's hard to actually look at the colors from the view like this because they're just color dipped at the end, but here we have some really nice blues, a couple of turquoisey colors, some earthy greens, and then we get into some more neutrals here. Then for the next row, we've got some like ochre colors, more yellows. This is not even in the correct order, I don't think. Magenta reds, some purples. I really love the colors that are made up of this set because they're all very relevant colors that you would use. We've got more missing ones here, probably because they're sitting in with my Polychromos, but here we've got some more neutrals, some more blues, more reds. So I really love the Luminance pencils. They are just beautiful pencils. I believe they are wax-based, although all pencils are made up of wax and oil, so I don't really know what percentage of what these pencils are, but they have a completely different feel to other pencils I've used. These have the highest light fastness ratings, probably just comparable to the Derwent Lightfasts, and I don't know if there's any other pencils that are comparable to these besides the Derwent Lightfasts, which I don't own, so I can't really do a direct comparison for you guys, but I know a lot of people love those too. These are quite expensive. I invested in these a few years back. They were a splurge for me, I will tell you that. And then last year, and I have a video for this too of me unboxing these, but last year I was able, luckily, to buy the new portrait range. They released 24 new colors to make the Luminance set a set of 100, and what's with my boxes being the wrong way around? So now Luminance is a full 100 set, although I don't know if you can buy the set in a full 100 like box or anything like that. Here are the new portrait tones. Interestingly enough, we've got some bright colors in there too, and I do talk about that in my unboxing video, but it does say animal portraits and human portraits, which explains some of these like really bright colors. I know you can always use certain ones for skin tones, but there are a couple that are super bright, and I think that those could be suited for animal portraits. Let's swatch one of them out. I really love this color. This color is ultramarine, and again, these new colors really filled in the gaps, like what was missing from the original set. And this color chart's for the full 100, and I didn't really match the colors very well because I swatched the new ones up here. So these rows are just the new ones, and then we start with the white. Then we've got the normal 76 set. Yes, it's not arranged very well, but that's okay. Of course, I recommend these pencils if they're in your budget, if you want to splurge one day, or if you sell your work and you want it to be highly light fast, of course. Next, we have a couple of smaller sets. Say hello to my Derwent drawing pencils. These are actually my favorite Derwents that I own because I don't have a lot of their sets. So the Derwent drawing pencils are honestly very near and dear to my heart because they are entirely made up of these really, really earthy tones. Complete neutrals. Like, this is just a set of neutrals, and even if you look at the design on the tin, like, it's made for drawings like this. I have made a couple videos using just these pencils and I really love them, but they do lend themselves to a very particular type of drawing. There's not enough colors to be able to do, like, you know, botanical artwork, portraits, all of that. However, they're a great additional set if you already have another set of colored pencils, and they would be great for anything nature related, I believe. From these ones, I think some of my favorite colors are like this ink blue up here is really, really, really gorgeous. I also like Mars Violet and Ruby Earth. And as boring as it sounds, I love green shadow because it's such a grayish green tone that it comes quite in handy when I am using it. So just very earthy tones. And of course you're going to have a yellow ochre. You even get an off-white, this wheat color. You get a lot of gray tones and then some burnt red tones. And luckily we also get a really nice deep brown. Here's what the pencils look like. They're pretty big. Honestly, the pencils are quite big, like the barrel of them. And the core as well. So they're a bit hard to sharpen unless you have, like I have this sharpener, which has the bigger hole for pencils that are big like this, luckily. Let's swatch out Mars Violet, one of my favorites. I'll show you guys what this one looks like. Look how pretty it is. Isn't it so gorgeous? Sorry if that went out of focus for a sec, but there's that Mars Violet. It's such a nice, unique color. And again, these colors show up in nature a lot. So if you're someone who's into that, or you like doing any like landscape drawings or anything, I think you would really like these. Next, I have my newest addition to my collection, another gift, the Holbein Artist 12 pastel toned colored pencil set. These recently became available in the US, as many of you guys know, and I just swatched them out. I just made a video about them. You can go watch that if you want to hear more about them. They are just really bright and pretty and colorful. Here are the colors. I think my favorites from these are this purple Wisteria, and then I also really love this mauve color. Here's what they look like. I could just stare at them because they're that beautiful, and I've kept them in their correct order here. They're just like a pretty pastel rainbow. Let's swatch my favorite one for you guys, Wisteria. Here's my messy swatch chart. Only I would create something like this. Here's what Wisteria looks like. Oh, that's such a terrible swatch because I'm running out of space. I just like to make things more difficult for myself. So if you guys want to see me use these, check out my previous video where I unbox, swatch, and do a demonstration drawing. But I really like these. I'm not sure what these are made of. I can't really tell you, honestly. I heard that there's like fat in them or something, and that's what makes them have the feel that they do. I don't know. Again, these are Japanese pencils, and I don't really know how their light fastness system works, what the composition of the pencils is. However, I do know that I really like the colors and that they're beautiful and perform well. Would I buy more of them? Probably not while the prices are still as high as they are, but I'm very grateful to have some of these to add to my colored pencil collection. Believe it or not, that was all my colored pencils. That was insane. So next we're going to move on to my watercolor pencils. So I have one set of watercolor pencils, and they are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer pencils. They fit nicely into this little pouch that I bought for them because honestly I didn't think they would fit in here. I thought I would have to use this for something else, but somehow all 60 fit, even the little water brush, and they're great for travel. I always take them if I'm going to go somewhere. They're so much easier to travel with compared to like watercolor paint, and there's just so many of them. How can I show you guys all of them in a satisfying way without taking them all out, because it's hard to get them back in. But I have the 60 set. Let's look at the actual swatch, which is terrible and deserves a redo. I've owned these for many, many years now, so when I did swatch these out, I was being so lazy. Before I even had a YouTube channel, I just swatched them out. But I can hold this up so you guys can see the colors. They are actually color matched to the Polychromos, and I have the 120 set of Polychromos, so this is just half of that. But honestly, I don't think I need any more of these. Like, maybe I would add a couple individual colors if there was a color I really wanted, but for the most part, you can mix pretty well with these, because they are watercolor pencils after all. Since I'm going to make a new swatch chart eventually, I guess I could just show you guys one color now. I'm doing dark cadmium orange. See, this paper is so old, I don't even know what paper I swatched on. I believe it was like a Strathmore paper that I don't even own anymore. I wanted to show you how bright they are. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I am eager to try another watercolor pencil set eventually. I love the Albrecht Dürers though. They are my absolute favorite. And I love that they all fit in here. I actually got this from Typo, by the way, if you guys are wondering. I'm sure they have these still. I know they had a couple different designs. I mean, if they hold up to 60 pencils, honestly, I do recommend them to you guys. Okay, that part was quick, and now we're going to move on to the last two sets, which are pastel pencils. My first ever set of pastel pencils were the Stabilo Carbothellos. I have 60 of them. Chalk pastel coloring pencils, so obviously these are not oil pastels. And you could see they are well used. So there was a period in time where I really used these a lot, and I haven't used them too much recently. I'll go over why. I love them still. I still love pastel pencils, but there is a reason I haven't used them too much recently. So you could see these Stabilos are pretty nice. You get a pretty good range of neutrals and then some bright colors as well. But luckily pastels are easy to mix together and make new colors with, kind of like watercolor pencils. Now, I really love pastels, but the reason I haven't used them a whole lot is because they tend to trigger some kind of like reaction with me. Even if I keep the window open, I feel like I just don't have quite enough ventilation. I will kind of get like watery eyes or an itchy nose and sometimes a headache, which I know it's not good. Pastel pencils can be toxic, just a warning to you guys. I mean, all art supplies can be, but especially these. So I don't use them a whole lot, but I really love the results you can get with them. And honestly, I might just try using them with a face mask on, because now that I have more masks, that would make sense. Maybe that would help. I'll let you guys know if that helped. Why did I think that this was sufficient, you guys? I can't even hold it up well enough for you guys to see. This is how I swatched them. Who does this? They seem to run really strong on like the neutrals in this set. So yeah, like they have bright colors as well. I wouldn't say they have a ton of lighter skin tones, but they definitely have some darker ones that you can mix. And since they're pastel pencils, it's easy to mix anything really. I'm just embarrassed at how, like, why did I even swatch them like that? If you guys want a re-swatch and review for these as well. These don't have names on them, by the way, they just have numbers. This isn't pastel paper, so that's a really pretty pink. I think one of my favorites from the set, which is why I'm swatching it for you. And I like to use Pastel Matte, if you guys are wondering. When I do use pastels, Pastel Matte has reduced the amount of like allergy or allergic reactions that I have to these, luckily. And I think it's because it doesn't cause a lot of pastel dust to come off compared to other paper. Also, can you check out how sharp this one is? Like, I must have used my Derwent Super Point for that. Okay, so those were my Stabilo Carbothellos. By the way, these are fairly affordable if you're looking for a pastel set. Now, last but certainly not least, we have the Faber-Castell Pitt Pastels. Now, the reason, and this is a 60 set as well, the reason I bought these was because I heard that they're a great companion set to the Stabilo Carbothellos. Pastels can be soft, medium, or hard when you deal with sticks or pencils, and the Stabilos were fairly soft. However, these are more of a medium pastel, meaning you can get more detail with these when you sharpen them, and they don't seem to lose their point quite as easily. They're all pastel though, so of course they're not gonna like stay as sharp as normal pencils. And these also just have numbers and not names on them. And I don't even have a swatch chart. I actually never even made a swatch chart for the Pitt Pastels because, I don't know, I could have made one right underneath here, just as terrible as I made this one, but I decided not to. So as I was saying, these are a great companion set to the Stabilos, and I think it's because they offer some colors that the Stabilos lack in. They're color dipped at the end, so you guys can see the little tray of brighter colors though, and then we have more neutrals here. But I always thought that the greens that come in this set are quite earthy, which I really like. And I actually don't know, I think these are color matched to the Polychromos, but I cannot be bothered to go and check all the little numbers and see if I can find out. Now you can see that some of these are considerably shorter than the rest. White and black especially, because these have the tendency to break and pastel pencils are notoriously difficult to sharpen. So these are my Pitt Pastels. I would recommend them. I think that they are a little more expensive though than the Stabilo Carbothello pencils, but I still think that they are a fairly decent price. I mean, I've seen the prices of the Caran d'Ache and I think those ones are a bit more expensive. So what do you think, Bob? I think he and everyone else is judging me now in this video because that was quite a lot of pencils. However, I hope that you guys found this enjoyable to see my whole collection as of January 2022, which is insane by the way. And hopefully I won't have too many more pencils by the end of the year because quite frankly, I think I have enough. You guys, I thought I could fit them all in one frame and I don't think it's going to happen. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see me talk about like individual reviews and do the swatch charts for some of these sets, I'd be more than happy to do that. And I am hoping to do some more supply-based videos and reviews in 2022. I think that's kind of like what's hot also right now in the art community. Lots of supplies talk, comparing, and just reviewing and doing things like that. And I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you for following my channel in 2021. I hope that you stick around for 2022. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!